Hi, everybody. My name is Mary Copeland, and I want to go over the class with you, show you some important things. Sometimes these things are easy to miss, and so I just want to go over a few things with you. Let me share my screen, and we'll start looking at the class. So this will be your screen when you log in. Every week, I'll post an announcement here. I usually do that on Sundays. A couple things that I want you to do is you're watching this video, so great. There's another video to watch about AI. So please watch that video as well. And couple things that I want to show you and talk about. So you have some technology requirements for this class. When we take exams, we'll be taking exams through what's called HonorLock. It's a proctoring software. So phones and tablets do not work with HonorLock. So you can't really take those on your phone. The reason they don't work is because you have to have a Chrome extension. The Chrome extension is free. When you start using HonorLock, it'll tell you you need a Chrome extension if you don't already have one. So it'll do that for you. It's all free. But that has to be done on a laptop, and it also has to be done on a laptop with a web camera. So those are some requirements for the class. If you don't have the ability for those things, you might want to take a different class. The other thing I want to talk about is the textbook. You do need to purchase the textbook for the class. Let's see, this textbook is called Asking the Right Questions. I'm showing a picture up here in the corner of it. But you'll need that for the class, but the ISBN number is there. We do exercises from the book every week. We have a couple of quizzes and we focus a lot on the book. I don't ask students to purchase books that we don't use, so you will need the book. The digital version is you can purchase through a digital rental through the bookstore, which is what I recommend. It's probably the cheapest way to go. The other thing I want to point out on the homepage is the to-do list. The to-do list is great. It's a good reminder of what needs to be done for the week, but it does not tell the whole story. One of the whole stories that it doesn't always tell is like due dates, especially for discussions. It calls them milestones. So you'll have all discussions. Canvas only allows me to put in the final due date, which is Sunday, but you always have your initial post due on Thursday. So that's something to remember for the next 4.5 weeks. Every discussion that you do, you have an initial post due on Thursday and then 2 peer responses due on Sundays. All of the other due dates are in line with the class. What you want to do, though, is go to the modules because the modules tell the whole story. There's things to read in the modules. So that's where I'm going to go right now. So here are the modules. I'm going to talk about what to expect in the course overview. So this is what we're going to be doing for the next 4.5 weeks. Each week, you're going to have 1 to 2 discussions. You'll be asked to respond to your classmates. There's an essay due each week. The final essay is a research paper, minimum of 6 pages. Each week, there'll be 2 to 3 exercises from the textbook, 1 to 2 timed writings. We'll read some short stories. Those will be posted in Canvas, and additional quizzes and exercise and readings as needed. So the summer is really intense and it moves very fast. And I'll talk about that a little bit more. But I'm going to go back to the modules. So there's an MLA information and other resources. There's a lot of good information. All of your essays need to be in MLA format. So you want to make sure that you're familiar with it. If not, there's a whole lot of resources for you to look at. I also highly recommend using the Writing Center. The Writing Center has online appointments, so you can use that. And then here's the first week's module with all of the work in it. You can just click on these to begin your work, your assignments, the things that need to be read. And so there's all that. The first essay assignment is there. I also want to show you the syllabus. I'm not going to read through the whole thing with you, but I do want to show you a couple of really important things. One is communicating with me. Email, of course, over the summer is the best way. I really try to get back to you within 24 hours. If you email me on a Saturday or Sunday, it might be Monday before I get back to you. I am human. Sometimes I read an email and I mean to respond and I forget. If you don't hear back from me, email me again. Some students will put like on an assignment, they'll put something in the comments section, like they'll have a question for me. That is not the best way to get a hold of me because I don't always read those very quickly. So if you have a question that you need some feedback on, email me. Do not put that in the comments section of an assignment. So here's a whole bunch of different policies, my late policy, discussion guidelines. I'm going to leave you to read all those. Actually, there's a syllabus quiz on it, so you can go through those as you take the quiz. And that's really just designed so that you're very aware of what the policies are as we go through the class. But a couple things I want to point out are the important dates because summer does move so fast. If you feel that like the class just, you don't have time to get it done in the course that we're working on, the last day to drop without a W is July the 6th. So that comes up very quickly. So that's something that you want to pay attention to. What I really want to point out is how much time will this class take? So this is a 4-unit class. This means that there are 4 hours of in-class time, discussions, quizzes, Zooming, plus an additional 8 hours each week of outside of class time, like reading or writing essays. In a 17-week semester, that's a total of 12 hours a week, but we're doing that in 4.5 weeks. That means we multiply 12 by 4 to get 48 hours of work per week in order to be successful in the class. That's a lot. I do think it varies from student to student. Some students read quicker, some read more slowly, some, have different writing habits. But I think it's a good gauge, within a few hours of how much time you'll need to be devoting to the class in order to get all of the work done. So that's just a heads up on that. The other thing that I want to point out, I do have a whole academic honesty and AI policy. I go over that in the other video, so I'm going to leave you to read through it and watch the video. I actually have a quiz strictly on AI. That's how important it is to know what the class policies are in this class. Late work, you can read my policy on late work. There's not much time for late work, especially we're really doing this class in 4.5 weeks. I think I say it somewhere in my syllabus. One of my pet peeves is like students who don't do a lot of the work and then at the last minute, can I make it up? Can I make it up? Typically, no, but I mean, there are exceptions to every rule, but it depends on what's going on with you. It depends on if you have documentation for why you can't get the work done. So those sorts of things. So just tend to know that. But you can read through the policy on all of those things. Read through the discussion guidelines. I'm going to go back home. Other than that, I think most of it is self-explanatory. Be sure to email if you have questions. Oh, I know what I want to show you. I'm going to go back to the modules really class. I recommend taking the sample quiz. So under this week, there's a sample quiz using HonorLock. That way you get all set up with how it works, you know how it works, and that way there's no questions when you go to take a regular exam and you don't have to stress about all of the requirements and that you're doing it the right way. So take the sample quiz first, that way you're all set up with HonorLock. Other than that, I look forward to our semester together. Let me know if you have any questions.